good people? Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We burn things around here. We burn shit. And today we're going to burn some capitalism. Did you see Joe Biden, the worst ghoulish grandpa in the whole wide world? Y'all, Joe Biden had the audacity today with chest, as much chest as them old ribs is trying to hold together. With chest, Joe Biden extolled the virtues of capitalism. I saw that shit and I said, surely he's joking. Surely he must be kidding. But of course he's not kidding. He's the American president. It is his duty as capitalism crumbles all around us, as capitalism reveals, and he's not really revealing, but further reveals the ways that it is there to place profits above people. Joe Biden said, I like to have a word about capitalism. Capitalism, look how capitalism used to be good to y'all ends and wage ends. Yes, anyway, that's coming up later in the show. We're going to talk about how Joe Biden has the audacity to talk about fairness and competition in this economy, sir, in this economy, at income and wealth gaps and disparities at record levels that we have not seen since the Gilded Age. This is worse than the Gilded Age, right? Capitalism fall down, go boom. And we will cheer. We will root for capitalism to fall down the fucking stairs. Also coming up later in the show, we got some actions. There was some actions today. Everybody was about that action. Unions out in California. Shout out to the airport workers. Unite Local 2, San Francisco International Airport, about that action. We're going to talk about that big strike happening out in California. And we're going to talk about the kids. Did y'all see the kids in Virginia? I mentioned this morning on the Remix Morning Show, but the kids followed through in Virginia. 1,000 students. I've seen two reports say that 1,000 students walked out of class today to protest Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's new rules about the way that transgender students will be engaged with in Virginia public schools. The kids said they are not with them shits and they are with the shits. They are simultaneously not with the shits and very much with the shits at the same time. And then we have some other things that I want to get into. There's some wonderful actions from the Defend the Forest group, them people down in Atlanta, trying to put a stop to Cop City whilst defending the urban forest there in Atlanta. We've got some really good stories for you guys today. Speaking of you guys, we have Justine. Hi, Justine. Nice to see you. Come in here, check in for the live show. This is a randy good time here on the live program. This is where people I think have the most fun. So I'm glad to see Justine in here. What's going on to Holly Horn? I see Anna Hart up in the building. I see, what's up? Hey, T-Mac Mosley, come on in here. Of course, Latif is in here. Latif, I was thinking about you. Are you in the path of Hurricane Ian? You should leave. If you are, you should try to go elsewhere to higher grounds. And we want to send so much love, support, solidarity, healing vibes, reparative vibrations, I suppose, to the folks that are being affected and that have been affected by these most recent hurricanes. Of course, they're Puerto Rico, DR, Guadeloupe. Who else got hit kind of bad? Was it Turks and Caicos got hit by Fiona? And here with Ian coming through the western side of Cuba and now making its way towards Florida. These storms are catastrophic. They will take people's lives. So as best as you're able to, if that's in your immediate future, this hurricane, or dealing with it, do what you can to try to keep yours and yourself and your loved ones as safe as you possibly can. So there is that. Do us a favor, everybody. Come on in here. Hit the thumbs up. Wait, let me see what Latif say. Oh, he said he's already ready. Either way, come on. I'm glad to hear that, Latif. But Latif, you strike me as a person. That's Latif, stay ready. See, Latif don't have to get ready. Latif, stay fucking ready out here. I believe that. I totally believe that. Come on in here, y'all. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member to the channel. We've got some member-y things percolating starting Friday, actually. If you are a new YouTube member, you get to join the patrons this Friday for the September Ask Me Anything. The Ask Me Anythings are pretty, they're fun. They're fun. I like them. I like the AMAs. The AMAs are always good. People always ask fantastic questions. So if you are a new YouTube member, this will be a nice treat for you. If you would like to get in on the good shit, well, there you go. There's some buttons underneath the video you can go on and push, and it'll take you to the places that you need to be. Is that Court in there? I see Franny Francais in here. I see Shirley. Come through, Shirley. What's up? Who else is it? I already said what's up. Oh, Donnie's in here. I love to see it. Come through. Infinite. Yes, Infinite Content. I saw your message. Infinite Content wants to produce Friday's show. Should we give Infinite Content? should we say Infinite Content take the wheel and drive us somewhere on Friday? I'm gonna hit you back, Infinite Content, because you don't never send me stories that suck. So why the fuck not? Come on. What's up, Stone Alona? Come through, Tyler. Chewy Craft, thank you for your membership. I love y'all. Come on in here. All right, Big Teal, what's going on? I'm in a good mood too, Big Teal. I'm in a good mood. As well, I was singing all kinds of songs before we started, before we went live. I sang some Shalimar, I was singing some Baby Sham. We went all over the place, sang some Wu-Tang, Glaciers of Ice. That's how we do. That's how we roll. Anywho, let's get on to the program, shall we? So let's talk about some actions, because y'all, the actions. I need some action. Come on, burn this shit to the graction. So let's start you would think we're going to start in Atlanta when we're talking about Cop City, and in a way that we are. But I happened to catch this piece online today, and I must say, a piece of civil disobedience / targeted vandalism, the kind of shit that I actually think that I'm here for. And for reasons now, the article wants to be silly, and I don't know why. As I'm trying to attempt to read it, it's asking me, do I want to log in? And I assure you, I do not want to log in, Google. I just want to read the fucking article. That's it. That's all I want. and it's being difficult. So let me get this together. Okay, so here we go. Check out this headline. Brassfield and Gorey chairman's Mountain Brook home vandalized by Atlanta police training center opponents, according to officials. What? Does that say AL.com as in Alabama.com? It does. It does. So check this out. The home of an Alabama construction executive was targeted and vandalized last week, authorities said, apparently due to the company ties to Atlanta's planned police and fire training center. Vandals targeted the Birmingham area home of M. Miller Gorey, who is the chairman of Brassfield and Gorey, which is a primary contractor on the training center set to be built across 85 acres just outside of Atlanta city limits in DeKalb County, Georgia. The company confirmed that Gorey's house was targeted, and police said that they have opened a criminal investigation. The incident marked the latest escalation in the saga over the training center in Atlanta since the Atlanta City Council approved it last year. Far left activists, are they on the far left? Okay, we'll take it, fuck it. Far left activists have vowed to use extreme and sometimes violent tactics to pressure those linked to the facility to cut ties with the effort. Now, here's what happened to Mr. Gorey's place. Now, the incident happened in the early morning hours of last Friday, according to Thomas Bulware, who was a police lieutenant in Mountain Brook. The house, 2 vehicles, and some sculptures on the property were targeted, and police are investigating an initial charge of harassing communications, Bulware said. The investigation is active and no arrests have been made. In an anonymous online blog post, the anti-training center activist claimed responsibility for the vandalism, let's fucking go, at Gorey's house. Referring to the company as Brassfield and Buttface, let's go. The group said that they vandalized the house with paint and damaged 2 of Gorey's cars, including splashing them with a gallon of lacquer thinner. That's great. I love that for that man's car. Quote, on the driveway, we left a message. See you soon. It's up to you if we make good on this promise. if your dung company drops the Cop City contract, then stylish people like us wouldn't feel so compelled to visit you ever again, the Post stated about the project. In a statement, Brassfield and Gorey said that the incident at the chairman's home was, quote, the latest in a string of events that have involved criminal activity, far surpassing the bounds of peaceful protest. Law enforcement is working to identify and prosecute those involved in the incident last week and has taken action to prosecute those involved in previous unlawful acts. Now, what I think is really cute, first of all, let's be clear. If the trees know no peace, if the deer and the animals that have made their home in those 85 acres of Atlanta's urban forest, if the animals know no peace, if the trees know no peace, why should this motherfucker know peace at his house? Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, y'all thought y'all could just tear shit up and nobody will come to your house and tear shit up, huh? Oh, you thought wrong. Can I say, I am so overwhelmingly in support of some shit like this, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because these rich assholes, these very privileged developers, or just wealthy folks generally, right, who don't have any sort of concern for the environment or for the greater good of society. This Cop City is not going to serve Atlanta folks. It's not. It's going to serve the police and serve the private capital that backs the police, in particular, that is helping to bankroll this Cop City. And if the activists are with these shits, oh, yes, yes, that is the shit I am here for. That is the kind of carrying on I am here for. Well, let's pop up that blog post, if we will, because I just wanted to show y'all the kind of time that the Atlanta Forest Defenders are on. And I love levels of petty. Be petty with these motherfuckers. Call them butt face. I support this. And this is from their blog, Scenes from the Atlanta Forest. And they dedicated this to Mr. Gorey himself. And they titled it such. Dear M. Miller Buttface, Chairman and CEO of Brassfield and Buttface. I said, come on. I said, yes. Eloquence to begin with. I love it. I love it. And then they went on to mock him some, which I also appreciated. And it went on, I'm just going to read an excerpt from the beginning. It says, as you know, some of your jerk-faced colleagues have been visited by crowds of attractive, noisy rabble-rousers during the daytime, and we thought that you might benefit from a nighttime visit instead. It said your ugly, tacky house and 54 Country Club Boulevard. Oh, damn, they done put this man address out there. 54 Country Club Boulevard in Mountain Brook, Alabama. And the zip code. Y'all can find that yourselves. I don't want this man to be like, burn it down, Kim Brown doxed me, I need 20 million. I'd be like, sir, I didn't know such thing. Anywho, so your house at said location caught our attention and we redecorated it just a bit. The walls looked much better with a little pink and so did that creepy statue. The Lexus and the gallon of lacquer thinner etched stop Cop City, yes, and a dick with a circle, a balls into the windshield and driver's side window. Okay, so they busted up this man's sculpture and put the dick in the circle and the balls through the window. And I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not going to read no more. Because at the end of the day, they tore his shit up. That's it. That's the tweet. That's the post. Tore up his statue, removed the genitalia from the statue, and then forcefully put the genitalia through his Lexus, in addition to lacquer thinner and pink paint. This is the kind of carrying on I am here for. So I want us to send some love, solidarity, and support to the Atlanta Forest Defenders, because this is the shit I'm here for. And let's be clear, y'all. this kind of ratcheting up of tactics going to these people's houses, it makes so-called respectable people very uncomfortable because, the bourgeoisie would be like, I don't mind, you better not come to my house. Well, why the fuck not? How else are people supposed to get their point across? They've been doing peaceful protests. They have done everything non-violently. And I don't even think vandalism is all that violent. And let's be clear, I'm certain that Mr. Gorey is a multimillionaire. He is, after all, a contractor. And he is, after all, on that contract to help build Cop City. His insurance covered all that just fine. Okay? Fret not about his Lexus and his ugly statues. I'm taking the forest defender's word on this. I'm sure his house is big and fucking tacky, okay? And they spruced the place up a little bit, and I respect that. I respect the hell out of that. So that's what's happening. Shout out to the Atlanta forest defenders again. In the ways that they are asking for us to support them, we need to try to figure out the best ways to do that. So definitely check out them. I think they are on Twitter at Defend ATL Forest. Do I have that right? Is Vesper in here? Vesper knows their Twitter. Well, lots of people should possibly know their Twitter. So big up to them. Hold on. And the next piece of action I wanted to show you guys has to do with the public school students in the Commonwealth of Virginia who really did an amazing thing. And I'm so incredibly... I almost wish I was born 25 years later. I feel like Gen Z is my people. And there's no disrespect to Gen X. Gen X, the boomers, they stomped on our dreams and aspirations and our imaginations for a new tomorrow. They told us we had to get jobs. So y'all cannot be out here rabble-rousing. Like, we got mixed messages, I think, Gen X. They told us to change the world, but then they told us if we caused any disruptions, we would be suspended. It's like, well, how am I supposed to change the world if y'all so concerned about disciplining me? I digress. Perhaps I'm projecting. Anywho, so these kids, on the other hand, have been told to change the world. And somebody's giving them the green light to do civil disobedience. And I love it. And even if nobody's giving them the green light, the kids are taking the power into their own hands, and they understand that they have the power. So let's take a look at some video. I'm going to talk over this because this video was posted by NBC Washington. So here's the deal. So at least two outlets, NBC Washington and USA Today, are both reporting that at least 1,000 students across Virginia public schools walked out of class today. At least 90 schools were thought to have been participating in today's walkout. And what is this walkout about? This has everything to do with Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's desire to change the rules of how transgender students are addressed and engaged with in schools. So on his way out the door, the former outgoing governor, either Governor Blackface or Governor Klan Hood, whichever one you thought he was, him, he made the rules in public schools that kids would be addressed by their preferred pronoun, right? And that, the bathroom situation would be a whatever bathroom I guess you wanted to go in situation. And if a child, I don't know how you exhibit LGBTQ, whatever, but the teachers would have permission to inform the parents if they thought their child was acting gay. I don't know how else to say it. It basically, what the kids are protesting is that teachers and school administrators could potentially out gay children and trans children to their parents before the children themselves have made that announcement to their own families. So these kids in Virginia, 1,000 of them walked out of school today because today, or I think it was actually yesterday, today's Tuesday. Yeah. Yesterday started the open comment period. So this is not a done deal. And by the way, I'm also learning that Virginia public schools do not always adhere to these rules. So for example, the current rules where children can be addressed by their preferred pronoun, not all schools have implemented that, but the kids are saying that we don't want to go back, right? We don't want these policies to take us backwards. They want to continue the policies and improve on them as they are. And the one thing that really stands out to me about this action, about this direct action that the kids did today, is that the kids understand that none of us are free until all of us are free. And as much as gay and trans students are being attacked, non-white history being taught in public schools is being attacked. So all of these things are under attack by white supremacy, by Christian cis hetero dominance, right? Like, and the kids get it. The kids get it. So the kids are like, fuck that. Y'all not going to make things more unsafe for our trans classmates. Like, we are going to speak up and speak out about this. So a 30-day comment period is now open for this policy to be reviewed and commented upon by the public. And so far, after only 2 days of open comment, this particular rule or proposed set of rules has already received over 20,000 comments online on the state of Virginia's website for the comment review period or whatever. So the kids, can we big up Gen Z? Are these y'all's kids? some of y'all got kids this big, man. Are these your children? You should be very proud of them. These are not my children, and I feel so proud of them. Like immensely proud of them. Like, I saw the helicopter video, the chopper video, and let me be clear, it was not just high schoolers. It was several middle schools that participated in this as well. So, like, the middle school kids, 11-year-olds was like, fuck this shit. The 11-year-olds said, fuck it. We riding for everybody. Everybody free and none of us are free. I said, come on, kids. Come on, kids. Love to see it. Again, the helicopter shots of the children standing in crowds outside of their schools, I was actually cheering. Like, it really brought like big warmth to my heart, because I feel so bad for these children. They're about to grow up on a burning planet, but god damn, these kids got compassion and they got heart and they about that action. So big up Gen Z, VA, 2 up, 2 down. Come on, VA, 2 up, 2 down. Virginia, the Virginia kids was winning today. I was so happy to see it. Happy to see it. Anyway, gang, take a little teeny. I pause for the cause while I simmer down. Give us a thumbs up on the video, please, and thank you. Tell YouTube that, you like us or something. I would like for us, here we are at the end of September, October, November, December. Do y'all think can we get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year? Is that asking too much? Is that asking too much, white Jesus? Okay, put Black Jesus on the phone. Black Jesus! Black Jesus. Is it asking too much? Can we get 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year? Black Jesus says maybe. So listen, do me a favor. Help us out. don't laugh at me, Courtney. Don't laugh at me, Courtney. Help us out. Spread the word. Tell the people. Get your grandmother. Help your grandmother find her YouTube password, and you get grandma log back into YouTube so grandma can go over here and subscribe to the channel. That's the kind of solidarity I'm looking for, and that I want. Also, you guys, don't forget, at the very top of the chat box, that is all of our links and such. This is the final week. That's not the final week, but our September abortion support fund this is the last week for y'all to match. It's really not the last week. I mean, you guys can donate whatever you want to, but we're just going to start a new one next month. So this month, if you're so inclined, the Arkansas Abortion Fund, if you go to our link tree, you will find a direct link to the Arkansas Abortion Fund. There, we're only asking people to match us $5. The channel, we donate $50, so anything that you guys can throw down on those reproductive services, the pregnant people of Arkansas would absolutely appreciate that. Whoa! Here come big money. The big money. Humorous, I'm so glad you're back in here. Thank you so much for that extremely generous donation. Humorous says, Lincoln didn't free the slaves. He freed a specific type of slave from a specific type of slavery and then threw them all under the bus of the rest of the slaves heading out to the fields. We white, brown are slaves. we chains and the bars that bind us. Thank you for that, humorous. I don't understand, but I'm trying. But so yeah, maybe we could talk about that a different day. I don't know. I don't know what I I don't know what slaves Lincoln freed, and then he told the rest of them to go back home. I'm not sure, but the 13th Amendment absolutely did re-enslave people back again. So I mean, slavery never went away, but we are all slaves to capitalism, tragically and unfortunately. So where am I going here next in the program? I'm sorry, I have a tendency to get so comfortable and I start to slouch, and I need to be sitting up straight. Don't forget, gang, follow us places around the internet at BIDWKB, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Shout out to D and Northern Wretch over there on Twitch. Shout out to the Twitch girls. We got a couple Twitch girls that turn up for us. So big up to the Twitch ladies, to the Twitch gals. The Twitch gals, Twitch gals. Hey, drop it low, Twitch gals. We appreciate y'all. So where are we going? The kids know that trans lives matter. Yep, I already did that. Scrolly. Oh. So I haven't talked a lot about the midterms, okay? And because I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't know what the fuck to say. I am fed up with America generally and elections. I really am. I still very much. I'm still trying to get over the 2000 election. You know what I'm saying? Right before my very young, impressionable eyes, I witnessed an election be stolen in real time. I mean, it took them a couple weeks before they finally stole it. But I seen that, right? And that, you want to talk about undermining democracy, undermining faith in democracy. Nigga, my faith was undermined in democracy over 20 years ago. So what the fuck ever is happening now in the fight for democracy, that is white folks' business. I am not part of that conversation. I will let the white folks fight for democracy amongst themselves, because, you know, some of them, especially those in power, especially those holding elected office, are not, you know, whether or not other people enjoy democracy, including members of their own constituency, you know, that's sort of ancillary. They'll get to it when they get a chance, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta vote. But so there's an election of some significance in my home state of Maryland, and I am a little perplexed by it. So we have a new governor. Maryland will be swearing in a new governor January 2023. Larry Hogan. Larry, what is Larry? Larry is a saltine. He's a gram. He is a club. He's an oyster. Name me some other crackers. I'm trying to name all the kind of crackers that I can think of, because Larry Hogan is all of them shits. Every single fucking cracker you can think of, Larry Hogan is it. He is it. Two-term Republican governor. On his first term of getting elected into being governor, he was able to do so because the Democrats put up a very weak candidate. Anthony Brown was Martin O'Malley's lieutenant governor. And even if you don't live in the state of Maryland and you don't know specifically who Martin O'Malley is, if you watch The Wire, Garcetti is loosely based, or not so loosely based, on Martin O'Malley when he was the mayor of Baltimore, and then he went on to become governor of Maryland. And then motherfuckers didn't want to have shit to do with Martin O'Malley, but that's a whole nother story. So Larry Hogan about to get his ass up out of there. Thank you, Jesus. So we're about to get a whole new governor, right? The Republican is backed by Donald Trump. His name is Dan Cox. He's a state delegate or state senator representing, I won't say rural, but Frederick County and Carroll County, not necessarily in either the DC or Baltimore metropolitan areas. It's a slight bit removed, right? So his constituency is not Central Maryland. So, and the Democrat is Wes Moore, okay? And I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck Wes Moore is, okay? Because Wes Moore has never held elected office in the state of Maryland. Wes Moore is an author. He is an acolyte of Oprah. He defeated several other career politicians in this state, and not saying that he should not have defeated them with zero political experience. I just find it really strange because that doesn't usually happen. Okay, that doesn't usually happen. Maryland is a state that insists on making motherfuckers wait they turn. Like, seriously, right? So for him, having held nothing, like he ain't been nobody's county executive. He ain't sat on nobody's city council. He ain't been nobody's mayor. I mean, literally no elected office experience whatsoever. He is former military, red flag, and he used to head up a nonprofit, a quote unquote anti-poverty nonprofit, which I'm still trying to unpack. Justine Barron. I'm glad to see Justine in here. Justine, there was even some questions about, was Wesley really from West Baltimore, as he claimed. It was just something funny going on, something very funny. So Wes Moore is the front runner for this race. Okay, Wes Moore is leading his Republican opponent by double digits. He has out fundraised him money wise 10-1, running away with the race. So how come Wes Moore don't want to debate this man? Let's put up that Washington Post piece there, Will. So, as you see, did my phone just fucking die? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. My phone just died. Oh my God. Hopefully the Washington Post will put me on this paywall right now. So the headline, as you see, Maryland gubernatorial candidates set to square off in debate. But please notice the singular, the singular use of debate, because there's supposed to be 3 debates, 3. Run them 3. And it's only the Wes Moore campaign that has agreed to do 1 debate. They have declined to do the usual set of 3 debates, which is, typical in a statewide race like this, and of significance, no less, right? Let me read this from the Post really quick. I'm really tired of seeing ads on newspaper articles. I digress. Maryland gubernatorial candidates Wes Moore and Dan Cox will face off against each other in a gubernatorial debate next month, offering voters why are they doing so nice? A first live glimpse of their sharp political differences. The debate, which is slated for October 12th, will be hosted by Maryland Public Television, MPT. It is the first debate that both candidates have agreed to participate in. Cox has repeatedly criticized Moore in recent weeks, arguing that he has refused other invitations. Moore turned down a request to participate in a forum on September 27th, which is today, at Morgan State University. Alyssa Mason, the scheduling director for the Moore campaign, told the Morgan State University spokesman, which is the college newspaper, that, quote, that we have a responsibility not to promote or elevate the dangerous views of our opponent. Mason said that Moore would debate Cox at the appropriate time and forum, okay, which is apparently going to be this 1 debate hosted by Maryland Public Television. Fox 5 here in D.C. Had a gubernatorial debate, at least they were gonna, but they asked Wes Moore, and Wes Moore said nah. Wes Moore said nah. And here's my question. Like, it's so wild to hear Democrats, specifically national Democrats, rant and rave and pull their hair out and scream and fall on the floor and cry about the death of democracy. And, I'm not saying that Wes Moore refusing to debate this man is emblematic of democracy dying, whatever the fuck that means. But it's coming off as a little soft to me. You coming off as a little scared, Wesley. You coming off as a little scared. And I'm confused, really, truly confused, because Dan Cox is not a bright bulb. And I'm about to give y'all 2 minutes of Dan Cox just to kind of prove my point. Dan Cox made an appearance on Fox 5's Good Day DC. And anyway, don't judge too harshly for the Fox 5, because everything is a madness here in DC. Everybody's local news is flawed. But Fox 5 has a lot of smiley black black women on there, so I like to support Fox 5. But anywho, you about to see Steve and Marissa, Steve Shenevy and Marissa Mitchell. Shout out to Steve Shenevy and Marissa Mitchell. Talk to Dan Cox, or rather, Dan Cox is about to talk all over them for 2 straight minutes. And mind you, let me preface this by reminding you that Wes Moore does not want to debate this dummy. Let's take a look.
Dan was kind enough to join us as well. Good to see you this morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Steve and Marissa. You know, we were very blessed and honored to restore freedom to the free state as our campaign motto, and we won in a landslide. We won 22 points on election night, and early voting we won. We were up by 13 points, and now it looks like it was secured at about 9 points up. So that is a message from the people of Maryland that we want our streets back. We want safe streets. You know, one of the things that separates me from my opponent very clearly in our campaign policies and positions is that my opponent is out there saying that he wants to indict the police systems, whereas I am going to back the blue and say we're going to restore law and order to our streets. We can do that. We're smart people. We're loving people. We can make sure that we stop the carjackings and murders every day. And I'm working very hard to do that while we also empower parents, once again, to be back in charge of their education.
You know, you talked about the victory that you're able to pull out in the primary. Might be a little different situation or a tougher fight perhaps in the fall election, where Democrats have typically come out in strong, outnumber registered Republicans 2-1. I know there are independents that are in that mix, and I know you want to target them, but coming into a state that had a Republican governor now for 8 years, but more of a moderate, that's not exactly where you're approaching things. So what do you do now to try to gain those extra votes that you might need?
Well, thank you. You know, I think it is moderate to have parents back in charge of their children's education instead of having this pre-K through third transgender indoctrination and CRT indoctrination. That's not education. We need to make sure that our schools are safe. Once again, that children can go to school without feeling like they're going to be shot up. This is an urgent matter, and parents know it. And so they're going to come out and say, who's the more reasonable candidate on this? You know, my opponent is on his website saying he's going to take charge of local school boards of education and forcing transgender ideology behind parents' backs in schools. That's not education. We're a loving people. We don't need to be forcing our children to have these kinds of indoctrination, sexualization in schools without parents being part of the equation. So our campaign is very clearly about re-empowering parents, putting people back in charge of their government. And once again, never again letting our government overreach and trample on those rights, including, by the way, the vaccine passport. That's going to be gone on day one on my watch.
All righty. Very lovely there. Dan Cox, you know, we're loving people. We just hate the gays and the blacks. We don't want to hear anything about anything that besmirches the pristineness of American white history. It's just fine. Just leave it alone. So, but do y'all understand my confusion now? Do you understand? How come Wes Moore don't want to debate this man? And I guess if you running the score up, right? If you ahead by 20 basically, and head by many millions or several hundred thousands of dollars in fundraising, I guess there is no point to kick that door open and give Dan Cox a little bit of sunshine. But as you see, that no amount of light is going to illuminate that dim-witted son bitch right there, right? So if anything, Wes Moore, I would think, should debate him 3 times just to make him look extra silly and extra dumb. But I feel as though Wesley must be afraid. And that gives me a little bit of pause. Because this man is former military, right? And that's one of the things that he ran on. Red flag, red flag. And he just is reminding me, he's giving me big Barack Obama energy. He's giving me good, shiny, exceptional Negro with a stunning black wife by his side. He's giving me that kind of energy. And I feel like, I'm like, wait a second. I've seen this operation run before. Fool me once, shame on me. But no, they ain't gonna fool me twice. Not gonna fool me twice. But here's the thing, I'm gonna end up getting fooled anyway. Because regardless, even if I go and vote for governor or don't go and vote for governor, Wes Moore is about to be the next governor of Maryland. And why? Why? Now, who said something in the chat that Wes Moore better sign some quality shit? I was looking at his website. One of the things he had up there, and He talked about transportation. I mean, anyway, he has his little platform laid out, etc. And here's the thing about Maryland, y'all. Maryland relies so heavily from an economic perspective on the federal government, right? So there's not an insignificant amount of Marylanders who work either directly for the government or in a contractor position or whatever. So Maryland's economy doesn't usually go down, right? Like, you have to be a fucking dolt to get elected governor and fuck up the economy in Maryland. Maryland got money pouring out of it, okay? In addition to the casinos, oh nigga, Maryland is swimming in cash. Like, you have to be intentionally trying to fuck this up. You have to be intentionally trying to run this truck off the road to be a bad governor in Maryland, right? But you can get some ideological shit done. You can get some infrastructure shit done. Larry Hogan intentionally vetoed a crucial transportation project in Baltimore City called the Red Line that had gotten federal approval. The federal dollars was there. Larry Hogan just showed his junior Klansman ass, senior vice president of Klan operations ass, and vetoed the shit. Now, could Westmore get into the governor's office and approve such a thing to significantly make a transportation improvement that Baltimore City desperately needs? Sure. Will he? I hope so. And just because he is Oprah's homeboy and he's from the military, I don't know. I feel like this guy is going to be a player to watch, but maybe not in a good way. I feel as though he's about to get elected 2022. Hey, 2028? They might be looking to this guy to be running for president. Maybe even sooner than that. They might try to pick him up in 2024. Maybe that's why he was able to clear out the field of Democratic candidates and pick up some, what I thought were unusual endorsements, considering he's a novice, right? Considering he is a political neophyte. This dude ain't never been elected. I mean, I don't know if this nigga got elected to his student council. Like, I don't know. There's a lot I don't know, and I don't like that I don't know it, and I don't like the fact that Westmore is not going to give Marylanders an opportunity to fully see him in 3 debates that we as voters, I feel, are at minimum entitled to. He's going to give us 1 debate, and that's lame. I apologize for using the word lame. That's an ableist term, but that's some bullshit. As a Maryland voter, I want more. I expect more. If this motherfucker's so whip smart, then how come he don't want to debate the big dummy? Huh? Scared. That's all I can say. Great Booker weeps. That Shirley, Westmore is coming to take Cory Booker's spot, okay? Westmore said, I got next on that presidential ticket. I got Oprah, bitch. Cory, who the fuck you got? Rosario, do better. You gotta do better. Anywho, so there's that. That's the Maryland. That's my 2 cents. And I don't really know if y'all gonna get an additional 2 cents out of me on this Maryland governor's race, because again, some shit ain't looking right in the light. Westmore is Obama 2.0, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And let's get to the main thing tonight, to y'all boy, Robinette. Jeez, la fucking wheeze. Well, let's pop up them capitalism tweets real quick, cause this nigga's tripping. Joe Biden today. God damn it. Why did I go on Twitter? I go on Twitter to find stories, and I see Joe Biden tweets, and I get angry and discombobulated, and I don't want to look at Twitter anymore. But yet here we are. Joe Biden tweeted this: capitalism without competition isn't capitalism. It's exploitation. What? What? No, nigga. Capitalism is exploitation. You see how Molly fixed the tweet? Molly did the Biden White House a big solid in our show thumbnail for today. Molly fixed that tweet for him. He tweeted it all wrong. Capitalism ain't no fucking competition, Joe Biden. Capitalism is the people who already have all of the capital, all of the cash, all of the assets. They have already been pre-designated as the winners. So what does this competition you speak of, sir? What is this competition? Oh, no. Robinette, he persisted. he went on in a subsequent tweet, and I'll tell you what all this shit is about in a second. So Joe Biden said that competition, hold on, let me scroll this up. Competition is the heart of capitalism. No, slavery. Slavery is the heart of capitalism. Competition is the heart of capitalism. That's why I mobilized my entire administration to promote it in our economy. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Capitalism, is he even making sense? Maybe Joe Biden wrote this tweet himself. I'm thinking he wrote this himself. Competition is the heart of capitalism. That's why I mobilized my entire administration to promote it in our economy. Today, the White House Competition Council met to discuss actions that they've taken to deliver for families and set a course for further steps in the years ahead. Now, you know, it's very rich for Joe Biden to talk about the White House Competition Council, how they are there to simultaneously promote capitalism and try to deliver for families. And Joe Biden doesn't understand that them two things don't go together. Capitalism ain't about repairing families. Capitalism would do whatever it can to separate families, either from each other in the work-life balance through the prison industrial complex by commodifying incarcerated people, and they will split up families to serve whatever means and whatever ends to those means. So, I mean, I know Joe Biden knows what the fuck capitalism means and its literal definition, but he is just tweeting out shit to try to remind us, to try to convince us that we need to still uphold this fucked up, destructive, now desperate economic system that is just there to exploit and oppress us. When he talks about exploitation, he said capitalism without competition is exploitation. He said that with a straight face in this economy. With the federal minimum wage still at $7.25, with no universal health care on the table at all, with the pandemic still raging that has killed over 1 million people, with billions being sent to fucking Ukraine while Jackson drowns, while Puerto Rico drowns, while West Baltimore's water source is still contaminated, while Flint's water source is still contaminated, while the people at the Joseph Reed's homes in the East Village are still drinking arsenic and Legionnaire's disease in their fucking water. He gonna talk to us about capitalism without competition is exploitation. Where is John Hinckley Jr.? Where is he? John Hinckley Jr. is out of jail. John Hinckley Jr. Let's get back to this competition council that Joe Biden has talked about. And give me a second here, Will, because I did not send this to you, but I wanted to pull it up just to see what the fuck is this motherfucker actually talking about with this competition council. Because I did see some Negro faces in there. Now, we know that doesn't mean anything. Now, does it? Not at all. But the idea, hold on, I'm sorry. I don't burp literally until the show starts. And then I sit down and I can't stop burping. And it's embarrassing. I deeply apologize. Let me read this really quickly from the White House. So, for decades, corporate consolidation has been accelerating in over 75% of U.S. industries, which is a smaller number, and a smaller number of companies now control more of the business than they did just 20 years ago. So this is the sort of basis of what Joe Biden is talking about, this competition council, because he's trying to make the point that there are too many companies that have monopolies, right? Amazon, Google. Now, I don't know if he called out Amazon and Google by name. Now, we know he don't have permission to call out his overlords. He don't have permission to name check. He can't name check. I'm sure he calls him Mr. Bezos. He cannot name check Mr. Bezos. He can't do that. But he can call out this shit in a very general sense. And the fact that Joe Biden has the audacity to complain about the lack of competition and the overwhelming number of monopolies. These are all monopolies, by the way, that Joe Biden helped to fucking create. Might I submit to the jury, to the people, please, the 1996 Telecommunications Act. And you know what? I was about to open my mouth, and I don't know for a fact that Joe Biden, in fact, voted for the 1996 Telecom Act, which basically helped to consolidate media companies and cable companies and print publications, so that whereas before one company could not own more than one type of media property in the same market. The 1996 Telecom Act did away with that. Thank you. Fuck you, Bill Clinton. I don't know for a fact that Biden did vote for that. I'm inclined to believe that he did, because everything that has personally fucked over Generation X, Joe Biden has made sure his Rosclad signature has been on the shit. Joe Biden said, wait, look, real quick. Is that about to fuck over Gen X? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me put my name on that real quick. Let me put it right at the top, real big, like John Hancock, Joseph, Aura. Biden said, if it's going to fuck up Gen X, let me put my name on it. And telecom, trust me, the 1996 Telecom Act fucked up media specifically and took away thousands of jobs out of media. So it would not shock me if Biden was a willing accomplice to that. So for him to talk about and complain bitterly about the lack of competition and how it's affecting American families, sir, you and your little White House counsels are not going to do anything about that. Like that is actually not policy. This is that Democrat, that fucking neoliberal, let's have a fucking task force about some shit that actually doesn't get shit done. They might put together a report, but do policies actually change? No, they don't. Because Democrats are as committed to upholding this economic status quo. They talk that shit. But see, that's why Biden had to double down in these tweets and in his little competition council today that, no, I am a capitalist. Please don't mistake me for one of them socialists. No, I am an elite. I aspire to be with the elites. I will not present legislation or do anything to politically harm the elites. That has been Joe Biden's entire political career. He is not deviating from that anytime soon. And as much as the GOP calls him a socialist, I wish that motherfucker was I wish Biden was the socialist communist that Tucker Carlson makes him out to be. I truly wish that. Oh my God. I would actually love that for all of us. But make no fucking mistake, just because Biden, I can't even say he's not a Republican. I mean, he's an excellent Republican, isn't he? he's probably one of the most politically successful Republicans that the Democrats have had in a very long time. And we know how committed the Democrats are to the success of Republican politicians. They want to see their Republican friends and restored back to their rightful place as, equal legislators, failing to understand that the Republicans are running away with the thing. Okay, running away with the thing. But I wanted to tie a couple things together here. So when Biden talks about capitalism and competition, I wanted to redirect your attention, if I could here, to the latest and the update about Brett Favre. Brett Favre. Brett Favre. You remember Brett Favre? He won a couple Super Bowls back in the day. He might have whipped out his penis a couple times unsolicited. No big deal. And he might have siphoned away $5 million away from Mississippi's welfare fund in connection to the state's largest ever corruption scandal in Mississippi's history. Yes. And the Clarion Ledger decided to wake up and join the party after Mississippi Today been rinsing that ass for months. Here come the Clarion Ledger latest shit. But check it out. So this is the headline. Texts. Brett Favre also sought welfare funds, welfare money for football facility. Brett said no. Said, Y'all got $5 million for the volleyball. I know y'all got 25. I know y'all got 25 for the football. After Mississippi spent millions of dollars in welfare money on Brett Favre's pet project, a university volleyball arena, the retired NFL quarterback tried 2 years later to get additional cash from the state's welfare agency for another sports facility. New court documents show. New court documents. The governor at the time, Republican Phil Bryant, texted in 2019 with Favre, who wanted to build an indoor practice facility for the University of Southern Mississippi's football team. Bryant told him that federal money for children and low-income adults is, quote, tightly controlled, and, quote, its improper use could result in a violation of federal law. Phil Bryant said this in a text message. Text messages between Bryant and Favre are in court documents filed Friday by Bryant's lawyers, which seek to show that the governor was willing to help Favre raise private money for the volleyball facility starting in 2017 and was unaware for more than 2 years that welfare money was going to the pet project. This is what the former governor is saying, that he didn't have a clue for 2 fucking years, and he was willing to help Favre raise private money. Well, where the fuck was that? Where was that? If you was willing to help him raise the private money, where's the private money? It was just easier to steal the public money allotted for the poor folks. Mississippi's largest ever public corruption case has ensnared several people, including a pro wrestler whose drug rehab was funded with welfare money. Ooh, spicy. The state has filed a civil lawsuit against Favre. I like to say it Favre. I like that. Against Favre and others to recover more than, how much, y'all? To recover more than $20 million in misspent welfare money intended to help needy people in one of the country's poorest states. Bryant and Favre are not facing criminal charges, and Bryant is not among those named in the state's civil lawsuit. Why not? I know why, because they don't hold these motherfuckers accountable. Like, again, this is Trump in a microcosm. You think Trump is going down for any fucking thing? No. Is Phil Bryant or Brett Favre going down for anything? I doubt it. A former director of the Mississippi Department of Human Services, John Davis, pleaded guilty on Thursday to federal and state charges in a conspiracy to misspend welfare money. Davis was appointed by Bryant in February of 2016 and fired by him in July of 2019. Davis also agreed to testify against others. Who's going to start singing? I want to hear everybody sing. Like, these text messages are not enough. I feel as though Brett Favre is far more deeply involved, even as deeply as he is already known to be involved. I feel as though he is even deeper than that. And this article sort of proves that. Hold on. Let's get down to where he started begging for more money for the football. I don't want to hear about Nancy New and her son, even though that is also white folks stealing. In the court filing on Friday, Bryant objected to producing documents unless it was under a protective order to prevent public release of its contents. Quote, this motion was brought in bad faith and solely to annoy, embarrass, and oppress Governor Bryant. He's being oppressed, y'all, because he refused to turn a blind eye to the crimes perpetuated by Nancy New and Davis, Bryant's attorneys wrote. Here we go. Favre's request for more money. So Favre's request for money from the Mississippi Department of Human Services to fund the football facility went nowhere. Favre made the request July 28th, 2019. That is my birthday. That's strange. As he was unsuccessfully trying to recruit the son of another retired NFL football player, Deion Sanders, to the university in Hattiesburg. Favre played football at the University of Southern Miss before going to the NFL in 1991. Bryant and New are also alumni, and Favre wrote to Bryant as having Favre wrote to Bryant that having an indoor practice facility would give the football program, quote, instant credibility. So Brett Favre saw that the cookie jar was wide open. And he said, they did just give up that 5 million just very easily for the volleyball thing. Surely they will give up more than that in connection to the football program. At least I am in part somewhat glad that his request went unfulfilled on that day, but it wasn't for lack of trying. Brett said, I'm gonna pause. Black people don't need to eat. They don't need shelter or clean water. No, my daughter needs a new volleyball facility. You understand? New one, not this old shit, not this old shit. So anyway, but where's the spirit of competition there? Where is the competition that Joe Biden speaks so deeply of? I mean, capitalism, even it can't say even ruins the government. No, I mean the government was in ruins when it was founded, but capitalism helps to further exacerbate the rottenness of it, right? Capitalism has already chosen the winners and the losers, and people like Brett Favre and Phil Bryant and Ted DiBiase, whoever the fuck else is involved in this Mississippi welfare scandal, they are already the winners. they already won. They are the ones in power. They are the ones controlling the purse strings. And even money that is designated, specified, allotted for very specific folks, if the people in power have access to what are rules? What is competition? What is fairness? These things don't mean anything. So long as you hold the power and the purse strings, you can do what the fuck you want. And all this fucking wide-eyed, idealistic, we're going to level the playing field. Joe Biden, kiss my fucking ass. Like you yourself personally are responsible for the playing field being unlevel as shit. You helped to further de-level the playing field, you asshole. And you going to talk to us about, we got to make competition better. And capitalism is not exploitation. And we going to figure out how to make capitalism work for families. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. What a straight face. Bitch ass. Anyway, we going to close this out on a up note. Because the people came out, man. And I want to big up to the unions. Big up to the people that are organizing really all across this country. National Union of Healthcare Workers, go to Status Quo News. I think Jordan clipped my interview with one of the psychologists there who also happens to be a member of the bargaining unit for NUHW. 2,000 members, okay, in both Northern California and Hawaii are now entering their 7th and their 5th weeks of indefinite strike right now, okay? These people... Again, I stand in solidarity with all workers. I believe in everybody having the ability to withhold their labor to get their fucking point across. But for these doctors and shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call them and shit. but for these doctors and clinicians and psychologists to still be earning a pretty penny, and they say, no, it's not about money. This is about our patients. This is about getting Kaiser Permanente to do the right thing for our mental health patients. I am so in awe of that. Like, that is such a principled stand. And we stand with them. But apparently the whole NorCal, Northern California, is rocking right now. And at San Francisco's International Airport, SFO, was this today? Was this yesterday? It was either today or yesterday. I'm sorry. I can't. You don't ask me too much. I cannot keep all the things straight. But it's either today or yesterday. So this was breaking. I'm going to read the tweet and then we're going to take a look at the video. So this was posted by the Unite Local 2 up there. 1,000 food workers, fast food workers at San Francisco's International Airport are on strike. Most of us have not had a raise in 3 years and we're tired of working 2 or even 3 jobs just to survive. So we're fighting back. So let's take a look at the video of the 1,000 striking fast food workers at San Francisco Airport on strike. that is the Unite workers. Shout out to Unite. I think that is local.
Welcome everybody to
Whoa, here we
this
go.
latest episode.
Hey now, how am I hearing myself? Unite Local 2 up there in Northern California. And just a heads up also for passengers, if you're flying to or through San Francisco, do not expect any service. Well, once you either arrive at the airport or you disembark at the airport, you cannot get nothing to eat, or there's a couple places open, but the lines are very long. But stand in solidarity with these workers, because we know that the Bay Area has one of the most unreasonable rent rates in the country. It is unconscionably expensive to live in San Francisco, in Oakland, in all around the little towns where they got like grandma's 800 square foot house selling for like $2 million. Like, the housing inequality there is horrific. And the wages and the inflation also horrific. And these folks are making very, very little money. I think they're making like 17 something dollars an hour, which again is not a living wage anywhere these days, but damn sure not a living wage in San Francisco. You know how many hours you'd have to work to make the rent? A shit ton. So we're going to stand with these folks, and I want to stand with all airport workers, by the way. Shout out to the flight staff from United Airlines. They also had some actions happening outside of airport terminals, different places across the country, protesting about their working conditions, the understaffing there, and the overbooking of flights. So workers across the spectrum are standing up, speaking out, and I hope that this is going to be a good kickoff to Striketober. I want to see everybody on strike. I want to see Courtney and Lateef go on strike. No, I'm just fucking. I'm just saying that no, Courtney and Lateef, please do not go on strike. Please stay here with us. Don't go. But no, I want to see everybody fucking turn up. Get what you deserve. Get what's coming to you and for you. And if it got to be taken by force, or if you got to go to the chairman of the company's nice house in their gated community and smash the genitalia off of their ugly statue and put it through their Lexus moonroof, so fucking be it. Okay, like the desperate times call for desperate measures, and this is the shit I'm talking about. So I love to see all the actions get turned up, from the kids to the forest defenders to these airport fast food workers. We doing big things out here for the folks. So that's the show, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you didn't like the video on the way out, please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you, everybody, for your super chat support. We appreciate that. And don't forget to become a member and a subscriber. Friday, after Friday's show, is going to be the Friday AMA. So please come and hang out with us after the show. What you say there? Hold on, what? Infinite content. I cannot catch up on these comments. The comments be moving very quick. By the way, Burn It Down with Kim Brown, the rail workers ain't done dealing with the rail lines. I hope not. I was wondering about that infinite content, because sometimes, when shit falls out of the news cycle, I'm like, oh Lord. Did a lot of capitulation happen? Did union busting happen? Did the intimidation tactics work? So I'm glad to hear about the rail workers. Shout out to Tasia, every time the Manticore always throws me off. I get past the ... I said, oh, it's Tasia. So shout out to Tasia, Black Magic, everybody that came through. Courtney, hey, Fiona, we got some new folks in here checking in. Check me tomorrow afternoon, 5 p.m. status quo. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about yet on status quo, but we will put it together. Things will be discussed, and we will get in there. What up, Craig Botto? Where you been? Craig Botto, where you been at? Where's and Dave is in here too. What's up, Gamandis? Where's I know Pookie would be busy, but who is my other youngin? Oh, James Thompson. James with the tight shirt. Where James been at? Y'all tell James he better stop ducking us, because I ain't seen him over at BPM either. I be looking for my people. I know who's supposed to be in here and when, and I know who ain't been in here, and I have questions. And Jonathan Guerrero, you tell Jonathan, you be ducking me. You can't be not just coming to my show and shit. We family. This is how we supposed to do. Will, out of curiosity, did you happen to pull that firefighter video? You see or no? Will sent me a TikTok video that is so Baltimore. It is the most perfect video ever. Well, you can't text me, Will, because my fucking phone died. So let's just call it a night. So, all right, y'all. That's the show. Please don't forget, COVID is out here jumping on people. Very much so. I don't want it to jump on you. Kindly wash your hands. Social distance. Wear your mask indoors. Be considerate of people around you who may be chronically ill or disabled or immunocompromised, because you just don't fucking know. So don't be the dick. Put your mask on when you're going to be inside around others. Please, please, please. The good mask too. Please, the N95s have come down significantly in price. Get you a good mask out here. Shout out to my man Rich L. Deals for showing me some love on that front. And on behalf of shout out to Tunde. But Tunde's not here. We got Will. On behalf of Will and Molly and Will, we will check y'all back here Friday. Fire fam, y'all are greatest. Come hang out with me tomorrow morning, the Remix Morning Show, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Black Power Media. Love y'all. The pieces, y'all. The truth. See y'all later. Bye-bye.